What is going on, YouTube? Joe here with Color Nation Media, and welcome back for another live Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire Wi-Fi battle against a subscriber/follower on Twitter. Today, we are going up against TJ, who is a huge supporter of this channel. He's always commenting, he's always, hitting me up on Twitter with some encouragement and stuff, and he's just a really nice guy, so I wanted to get a battle in with him. And actually, I think he asked for this battle specifically. I don't even remember how it went down, but I know, that's what we're doing. So, we're having a mixed tier battle. I ended up bringing the same team that I brought against Alex, but since this is mixed tier instead of UU, I do have my Stallbreaker Talonflame. This is the last time I'm going to be using most of these Pokemon. I'm going to just do like a completely different tier with just all different Pokemon, so we don't see those same faces, because I feel like I've used a lot of these Pokemon like many times now. But anyway, as for the team, we have our Focus Sash Doug Trio. I think it's got Stealth Rock, Sucker Punch, and EQ as well. So that's good stuff, because we can trap things and, take at least one hit. And then we have Feraligatr, which is going to be a special variant, of course. Agility, Life Orb, Scald, Ice Beam, and Focus Blast, rounding out the set. Defensive Salamence, physically defensive Salamence, with Dragon Tail, Roost, Flamethrower for Steel types. So that could prove to be pretty helpful, and Defog, so we can get rid of hazards if need be. I also have Rapid Spin on my defensive Hitmontop, and the reason that I wanted a Defogger and a Rapid Spinner is because of Talonflame, which does not like rocks being up on our side of the field at all. As for what that set is on the Talonflame, it is specially defensive. It's a stall breaking set, so it prevents hazards from being set up, status moves, setups of any kind. It's really just a great set. And what else do we have? Who did I not go over? I'm missing one. Oh, it had to be Lilligant. Yes, the Choice Scarf Lilligant, which hasn't put in too much work, unfortunately, and maybe that's just the way the team is structured. But yeah, hopefully it does something this time around. This is an interesting team that we're going up against here. I know he loves Umbreon, so I just have to figure out what set it is, if it's offensive, if it's specially defensive, whatever it may be. The Glaceon, that could be threatening. The Dragalge could be threatening. It looks like his hazard setter is going to be the Fortress. And the Gliscor, I don't know what that's going to be. I'm really not sure what that Gliscor is going to be doing. Typhlosion usually runs a choice item, and as long as I have Talonflame alive, I'm not worried in the slightest, because I can just switch in and I can take hits from it for days. I didn't mention it at the beginning of the video. I always forget to do this, or I'm forgetting more and more now, but if you guys want to show your support, you know how to do that. You can go in the comment section and show your support there. You can thumbs up the video. All of those things help. You guys are great about doing that, so I seriously don't know why I even still remind people, because you guys go above and beyond, regardless of whether I ask or not, because you're just that cool. So he does lead off with, oh, it's nicknamed Alex. Not even bad. Alex the Glaceon. For those of you that don't get that reference, our Glaceon in the Storm Silver playthrough was nicknamed Alex. So this is really cool. Not even bad. I like it. In fact, that Umbreon's probably nicknamed TJ after himself. He's probably got Mike the Gliscor, Roman the Typhlosion. Now it's all coming together. Now it is all coming together. These are all like characters from other playthroughs. I'm going to go right into Feraligatr, predicting an Ice-type move. And we should be okay here. I'm not too worried about it. And, oh, he predicts the switch and goes for the Shadow Ball. Not even bad. Good play on my opponent's part. That does over half. And he gets his Spadef drop, which is, it doesn't matter. All that means is that if he was to get a low roll here, that it will still kill me. That stinks. So Feraligatr's going to get sacked on turn 2. I mean, that was a good prediction on my opponent's part. I could have got off a lot of damage with Doug Trio, but that has to be Specs. Because a non-stab Shadow Ball, I know it's Glaceon, and he could be modest because Glaceon's pretty slow, but there's no way that does over half if that's not Specs. So I feel pretty comfortable. I could go back into Doug Trio and just trap this thing and get rid of it. Or do a lot of damage to it, I should say. I don't know if I want to do that. I don't know if I want to do that. I could go into Talonflame. Shadow Ball's not going to be doing that much. He doesn't have too much he can switch in on that, other than Fortress. Nadia will outspeed, and Flamethrower will do a lot, but it's probably not going to kill. And if he's not Specs for some reason, I don't want to just sack Salamence. So my safest switch at this point is the Talonflame. So I am going to go into that, and I can probably just Willow whatever wants to come in. He could try to get a Flash Fire boost with Typhlosion, predicting a Will-O-Wisp, but I don't care because he's still not going to be able to touch me. Like, Typhlosion does not beat this Talonflame set one-on-one. It can beat the physically defensive set if it's not invested in attack. So if it's like a similar set to what I'm running, but just physically defensive, Typhlosion might have a chance against it. In fact, it probably matches up pretty well against it, but not the specially defensive set. So we will see what he wants to do here. He might go into Umbreon too, and if he does that, I'm just going to taunt him to prevent Heal Bell and Wishing and all of those things. And if he is the offensive variant, then he can't curse either. So I'm just going to wear him down, because without any boosts, things like Payback is not going to be doing too much to this Talonflame. So again, I think we're going to see Talonflame be one of the MVPs on the team. I really wanted Feraligatr to do stuff because that set is so good. I love the special set. It's so amazing, but I've had to sack it in every battle except for against Alex, basically. I think this is the 4th battle that I've used it in a row, too, which is unusual. And I've had to sack it all 3 times. One time it got critted, and the other 2 times I just had to let it die. So he does go into the Fortress, which is great, because getting residual damage on this thing is really important. It really is. I'm not afraid of this thing. This thing cannot touch me. I mean, it can Volt Switch, which is super effective, but it's a Fortress, so that's not going to do much, and I'm especially defensive anyway. What would I want to switch in on this? I mean, I can taunt him to prevent hazards, too. Hopefully he doesn't have Toxic, though. That's what scares me. That's the only thing that would scare me, is if he has Toxic, because I don't have any way to remove that. I can Scout for it here, I suppose, and go into Dugtrio and trap this thing, and wear it down, and then potentially set up hazards as well, especially if he's specially defensive. I'm going to predict a Volt Switch here and go into Dugtrio and try to get in for free. I don't think he's going to set up hazards on me. He does go for the Volt Switch, so we're just going to get free burn damage off on this. He does reveal that he's lefties, although unless he's able to get a Heal Bell off, he's never going to get back up to Sturdy. He can't switch now. He can't pivot out with Volt Switch either, so this is a good position for me to be in. I could pull a double switch here, because he's not going to go for Volt Switch and just rack up more burn damage. But the fact that he went for Volt Switch and not Toxic leads me to believe that he doesn't have it. So he's probably Stealth Rock, Rapid Spin, Volt Switch, maybe Gyro Ball. Possibly Gyro Ball. I'm going to set up Stealth Rocks here anyway, because I don't care and I kind of want to see what this thing has. So we'll see if he Rapid Spins. No, he's going to set up rocks of his own, which is fair enough. He does not have any spin blockers, so I should be able to get a spin off with Hitmontop. But what this does is it allows him to be able to go into Typhlosion if he can get these rocks gone. And even if he doesn't, he can still just start firing off Fire Blasts and things, because Talonflame's not going to want to switch in on rocks here. The good part is that I've done a little bit of damage to this thing, and it still hasn't broken my Focus Sash, and I have rocks up. He probably is just going to go for the Rapid Spin here, though. And I kind of want to force him to do that, because he's just taking burn damage the entire time. So, do I want to go for EQ? That's the question. Should I go for EQ and get more damage off on this thing, or preserve the Focus Sash? I think that preserving the Focus Sash, that's really tempting. That is really, really tempting. Because what else would I need this for? Potentially the Dragalge, maybe? But I should still be able to take that on fairly okay, even without Feraligatr. So I'm just going to go for the EQ for damage here. And that really didn't do much at all. He shows off the counter, actually. And that doesn't bring me down to Sash. Counter Fortress, not even bad. I like it, TJ. I like where this is going. So the burn damage is going to bring him down below half. That's so cool. So he's got counter, Volt Switch, Stealth Rock. He has to have Rapid Spin. So he doesn't have Gyro Ball. He doesn't have Toxic. I would assume that. Hopefully I'm not incorrect, but that would be my guess. So he's probably going to try to Rapid Spin here. So I could just stay in and EQ because Rapid Spin won't kill me. Or I can just go into Turnip, and I think that's what I'm going to do, because I would like to spin. I would definitely like to spin. If he wants to switch out, that's fine. And we'll see right here what his last move is. So we are going to get an Intimidate off. So that's nice, I suppose, if he did have the Gyro Ball, but he doesn't. He does have the Rapid Spin, so we've seen this thing's entire moveset, which means once we get rid of these hazards, and if we do get matched up with Talonflame against this thing again, I have nothing to be afraid of. The only thing he can do is set up hazards, but I would just taunt him, as I almost just coughed right into the mic, and that would have been really bad. Really bad for headphone users, so I'm glad that I caught myself there and just made a weird noise instead. Don't DC, please. Why is it taking so long? What is going on? Do not DC. Internet, do not fail me now. We already failed in this battle once. And today's just been, or not today even, just the last, I don't know, week or two, I've just been having so many difficulties trying to record battles. Like DCs, interruptions, you name it. Things have been going wrong. And I'm just going to go straight for the Rapid Spin. He's probably going to Volt Switch here. He'll probably want to save this thing in case I get rocks up again. And so the beginning part of this battle has been a bit stallish, but it's basically just been me wearing down this fortress. And that's really, really important because having those rocks up for the Glaceon and the Typhlosion is something that I would like to have. So, yeah, that's why I am taking so much time to wear this thing down and make sure that it most likely cannot come in again and, you know, Rapid Spin. So he is going to Volt Switch out, which means he will have an okay amount of HP coming back in, which kind of stinks. So maybe I could have, maybe I could have just went for the EQ one more time with Dugtrio, but I did not. So we're going to have to deal with that. So he does go out into the Dragalge, and this thing's name is Culination. Okay, the Dragalge is named after me. What am I going to do? What am I going to do against myself? This is creepy. This is very creepy. Let's see. If he's Adaptability, which he probably is, he's probably Adaptability. Probably not Specs, though, because I'm almost positive that Glaceon is Specs. So I don't know what this is going to be. Maybe it is going to be a bulkier variant. I do know that I can't touch it with Hitmontop, so I do need to switch. The question is, what are you going to go for? Do I just sacrifice Nadia here? I don't know if that's the best idea. I don't know how well Talonflame takes those hits, and I don't... See, I really just don't want Talonflame to take unnecessary damage, even though I have recovery on it, just because otherwise, if that Typhlosion is Scarf, it just beats my team. Like, that is my answer to it, because Feraligator's dead, so I really have no choice. I'm going to go into Doug here and see what he goes for. As he goes for the Hail. Okay, I was essentially just trying to sack this thing, but if we can trap this, that's great. So I don't... Hail, though. That's kind of weird, honestly. I was not expecting Dragalge to go for Hail. Why am I going for Hail? What is wrong with me? I mean, at least he knows that I like cold weather. I love snow. It's not hail. I don't really like hail so much, but snow. I love cold weather. Winter is my favorite season. I hate summer. I hate warm weather. I really do. So maybe that's what that's for. But more than likely, it's not. Has nothing to do with that. It probably has to do with the fact that that Glaceon has Blizzard, and it's going to destroy my life when it comes in. I'm going to set up rocks again, because I want them up. I'd rather have him just kill me than EQ this. So yeah, we're going to get those rocks up. I don't want the Typhlosion coming in and having full-powered eruptions. And the fact that he went for Hail, and he's going to show the Black Sludge here, and he has the Dragon Tail as well, he is definitely a bulkier, defensive-ish variant. So at least he's not going to be dishing out massive damage. And the fact that he has Dragon Tail leads me to believe that he doesn't have something like Draco. So now we can go into Nadia, now that we have that nice little bit of information. And if he wants to go for Dragon Tail on me, I actually out-prioritize him with my own Dragon Tail because I am faster, even though I'm in negative speed nature. And that's going to do a lot of damage to this thing. He may want to switch into Fortress here. Oh, I should have predicted Fortress. I should have predicted Fortress and went for Flamethrower to just remove it. Hopefully we miss a Dragon Tail, because he'll leave Fortress in. He won't be expecting a Flamethrower. So he takes the rocks damage, and unfortunately we do hit a Dragon Tail, and he is going to live the rocks damage coming back in, even though that was a critical hit, because that's physically defensive Fortress. And we go right back to where we were before, except now this thing is not intimidated. I don't like that. So the Hail is essentially negating our Lefties and Black Sludge recovery. I really want to know what that's for. It has to be for the Glaceon. Like, I can't think of anything else that it would be for. Does this thing get Blizzard? I feel like he would have went for it already. Because he definitely went for Dragon Tail last time. That might be his only thing that he can hit me with. What else would this thing have? Maybe Toxic Spikes? That doesn't do too much to my team, because Talonflame is honestly the most important thing right now, and he is going to go for the Toxic Spikes. Okay, so he is Hail, Dragon Tail, Toxic Spikes, I don't know what else, and he's going to avoid a Dragon Tail there, which means he can get up another layer of Toxic Spikes if he wants, which is unfortunate. That is quite unfortunate. I don't like that. I mean, I really wish I could have Dragon Tailed him there into Fortress, because then it would die, I think, to a combination of rocks and burn damage. Because I don't want him getting a safe switch into that and being able to Rapid Spin, because Dugtrio is dead. I'm going to Dragon Tail again, and it looks like he's going for Dragon Tail this time, and that does well over half. Dragalge is gone, and Roman is coming out. Yes, it is Roman, the Typhlosion. I knew it. I had a feeling. And he's going to take the 25% due to the rocks, which is unfortunate for him. I think he was going to try to bring Fortress out again and, you know, get rid of those rocks before having to bring in either this or the Glaceon, but that did not work out for him. Now, I am pretty safe just going right into Talonflame here, because even though Salamence resists the Eruption or the Fire Blast or whatever he wants to go for, it's still going to do a lot of damage. Regardless of whether he's Scarf or Specs or whatever, I'm just not going to take those hits too well. So Talonflame takes them a lot better, and we can get some decent damage off on this too. And, I mean, it's probably going to force him to switch or sack this thing, and both of them are good for me because, like I said before, this Typhlosion just poops on the rest of my team if I don't get rid of it. It is a problem. It is indeed a problem. That Glaceon is a problem too, but actually, you know what? I'm gonna go for Dragon Tail. He is gonna go for the Eruption. Okay, I thought he would be afraid there of Talonflame switching in, and actually that did not do too much. And he avoids a Dragon Tail. How many times are you gonna miss Dragon Tail, Nadia? Does every single Pokemon on this channel have to be blind? It's a 90% accuracy move. You've gone for it 4 times and missed it twice. That's a 50% success rate. That's not acceptable. That is not acceptable, Nadia. Now that we know that he is likely Scarfed, he has to be Scarfed, judging by that damage. The Eruption is not at full power either. I think it's, what is it, 100 base power? Something like that. I think it might be 100 base power from the range that he's at, or in that range. I am going to Roost here because I kind of needed to, and that's going to get us back up to full, and I can Dragon Tail again. Because I think that's the only thing he has to hit me with, and I'm pretty sure he's locked into it. So I might as well just go for the Dragon Tail here. And he's going to withdraw here, potentially predicting me to withdraw. I don't know. But he is going to go out into the Fortress, and I think it's dead. I think it might be dead here. And we actually hit a Dragon Tail, so that's good. That brings our batting average up over 50%. Not bad. Batting averages are not measured in percentages. Not like 50%. It would be 500. Yeah, I used to play baseball. I should know these things. So the Fortress does go down, which is great because those rocks are here to stay, and that's the way this battle's been going. That's like the most important thing. It's kind of a long battle too. We've already been at it for almost 17 minutes in this battle. The video has been going for almost 20 minutes, and was that his first casualty as he goes right into Alex the Glaceon here? That was his first casualty 17 minutes in. Jeez. I did kind of fall behind early though with Feraligatr going down turn 2, and then unfortunately Dugtrio had to be sacked off too. But this thing's just gonna go for Ice Beam. I have no switch-ins really. Specs is going to do a lot even to Talonflame. This is a problem. I could sack off... Do I need Nadia for anything? You know what? I'm going to sack off Turnip here. He can't kill me in one hit because I do have max HP. It's going to do a lot of damage, though. It's going to do a butt-ton of damage. But at least we can get off a Mach Punch and get some damage off on this thing. And that, combined with a Leaf Storm, will definitely be able to kill this. So I can go right into Lilligant after I sack off the Hitmontop. That is the plan. He has no switch-ins to that because Fortress is gone. So if he wants to go into, I don't know what other bulky Pokemon he would have. Typhlosion will get to it KO'd after Rocks damage, so that's not a switch-in. He'll want to preserve that. The only other thing I can think of that he'd want to switch in would be Gliscor, and that might get OHKO'd depending on what kind of set it is. If it's not specially defensive, it gets OHKO'd by Leaf Storm. So in we go to Turnip. That sentence made no sense. In comes Hitmontop is what I wanted to say. That does so much damage. Wow. And Toxic Spikes is the thing. Forgot about that. He did get both of his layers up. And that stinks. So at least we survived the turn. And we can just go for Mach Punch here. Because this is basically a sack. He could predict this and go right into Gliscor. That would be a good play, but he'd have to take more damage coming back in from Rocks. I don't know if he wants to do that. He doesn't want to put himself into a range where Brave Bird will kill. And the Mach Punch will bring him down below half, as he is just going to go for the Ice Beam again, and Turnip is gone. So that kind of stinks. Not too much screen time there for Hitmontop, and he was just fodder, unfortunately. But that's a necessary evil, I suppose. We're down to 3 Pokemon now, so we're down 5-3. We're going to need to make a comeback here, but his team is kind of weakened. Almost everything has seen screen time, except for the Umbreon and the, what else? The Gliscor. So I'm going to go into Lilligant here, and I stand corrected because I think I said a few minutes ago that he got both his layers of Toxic Spikes up. He did not, because that just said I was regular poisoned, not badly poisoned. So I must have just derped there. My bad. But we do need to rely on hitting a Leaf Storm here, I think. I'm pretty sure. I could go for Hidden Power, and that will probably kill this thing. Probably, just because it's offensive. But he could have HP investment, too, though. That's the thing. I don't know. I really just don't want to miss a Leaf Storm, though. I already missed 2 90% accurate Dragon Tails, so that kind of scares me. He is going to switch out. What do you want to go into, Mike? That has to be Gliscor. Yep, it is Gliscor. And with Rocks, you are not taking this unless you are specially defensive. I'm sorry. Modest Leaf Storm from a Lilligant? Yeah, you're just dead. So Gliscor is gone. And that is pretty darn good, because that would be the one Pokemon that the Talonflame could have an issue breaking, potentially. Depending, of course, what set it is. I don't know what his set is. But, yeah, so that's good. That is good stuff. And Lilligant finally kills something from almost full health, so that's cool. That's good to see. I like watching Lilligant put in some work. I have so many different sets that I like to run on Lilligant. You can run Life Orb, you know, Sleep Powder, Quiver Dance, those kinds of things. Healing Wish is good, and I have it on this set. Choice Scarf, you can run Specs. So many cool things you could do. He does go into the Typhlosion because I am locked into the Leaf Storm, and I think he knows this. And even still, I'm pretty sure he's Scarf. So I am just going to go right into Talonflame here because that is my safest switch. He goes for Flamethrower. He doesn't want to go for the Eruption at that range, and that does absolutely nothing. Oh my goodness, that did 35 HP. With lefties, that didn't even do 30. Wow. Jeez, Talonflame took that so well. And at this point, I don't see any reason to not go for a Brave Bird. I'm trying to think of one. He doesn't really have any switch-ins. Gliscor is gone. Fortress is gone. Yeah, what would you have that wants to switch in on this? Maybe Umbreon? He is going to withdraw again. So he wants to save this, that's for sure. He keeps switching out even though there's Rocks up. And he is going to go into the Umbreon. Now, I haven't shown him that I am a Stallbreaker set yet. So he may just think that his Umbreon is super bulky by how well it's going to take this hit, but I'm not invested. So actually, that kind of did a decent amount. Kind of. I mean, it's still 120 base power stab move. So I guess that's not that impressive. But anyway, he's going to show off the lefties here. So that means that he is likely a defensive variant, and I'm not going to mess around with this. I'm just going to taunt it immediately. Because if it is the normal specially defensive set, or just physically defensive, any kind of defensive set, or cleric, he can't touch me. As long as I taunt him. And he does go right for the foul play. And that still does a lot. Wow. I'm happy I'm not invested in my attack. But I can still wear this thing down. I can will him, and then I can just, continue to roost and Brave Bird until he dies or switches out, because he won't be able to heal up. No wishing for you while you're taunted, my friend. I don't think I want to switch anything in on this. I think we need to rely on Talonflame to wear it down. As we are still at a disadvantage here. He's still got the lead. 4 Pokemon to 3. So I will Willow this. Thankfully we hit that, because I didn't want to waste another turn. And he tries to synchronize me, and that does nothing as he goes for foul play again. And now it's going to be doing considerably less damage because he is burned. And now we're in a fantastic position because I can roost up, and there's nothing that this Umbreon can do to me. He's probably foul play, wish, protect, and then either toxic or heal bell. One of those, I would assume. So either way, we can just go for a roost here and get into a decent amount of HP. And he really doesn't have anything that he wants to bring in on this. There really is, there's really nothing. He does still have the Glaceon, but he's going to take more rocks damage. And actually, does that die due to the rocks when it comes back in? I'm forgetting what its HP looks like. I think it might barely survive, but it's definitely not going to take a Brave Bird, because we were able to get that extra damage off with Turnip's Mach Punch. So that is helpful. His battle is long. Like, it doesn't feel like it's that long, but every time I look at the timer, I'm like, wow, it's really been that much time? Jeez. He does go for the foul play here, and that's not going to do much. Nope, nope, nope. Not too much at all. And we're in a great position, like I said. I'm kind of surprised he's staying in, but I think at this point he may be thinking that he doesn't want to switch anything in on a Brave Bird. So if he predicts wrong, if he predicts me to go for Roost, and I Brave Bird something, that could be potentially very bad for him. I'm going to taunt him again, because I'm not messing around with this. I'm not giving this any opportunity to set up a wish. I'm just not. It's not happening. It's not happening. We're not going to play those games. This Umbreon is going down if you're leaving it in. And this is why I love Talonflame so much. This particular set. I don't like Talonflame with its other sets, as he does try to go for the wish there. So it's great that we stop that. We get some more burn damage. We can go for Brave Bird this next turn to hopefully speed this process up a little bit. But yeah, this is why I love this Talonflame set so much. The bulkiest Pokemon, you just break them down slowly, and it's a slow, agonizing, painful death, and you give them a taste of their own medicine, essentially. And this is nothing against my opponent, because he's not like a stall player or anything. He's a really good guy. But it's great when you go up against stall teams and you just use their own tactic against them, and they're just helpless. They're just helpless, and it's fantastic. It is fantastic. I don't know why I like it so much, but I do. I think it's unhealthy how much I like it, honestly. But I don't care. So we're going for the Brave Bird. That does a decent amount. And he will go for foul play again. Still not doing too much. I probably should take the opportunity to Roost here, just so that I can be at as much HP as possible when his next Pokemon comes in. I would think, because what does he have left? After this goes down, he's got Typhlosion and Glaceon, which are not too threatening. His only other Pokemon, I think, is Dragalge. So, I mean, roosting kind of makes sense, I guess. But that Dragalge could be a problem. Oh, wait, no. I did hit it with the Dragon Tail. It doesn't have a lot of HP left. Never mind. He is going to withdraw, actually. And he's going to sack off Dragalge. Okay. I guess he feels like he doesn't need this anymore. And I ended up just going for Brave Bird instead of Roost. And so this is going to die, which is great. I'm happy about that. I guess, yeah, there's really no reason for him to keep that. It was a defensive Mon. He realizes he's not going to be able to pass a wish into that. And I think Talonflame just wins the game from here, honestly. So despite falling to a deficit early on, I think Talonflame's going to bring it back for us. because that Umbreon can't do anything, Typhlosion can't touch me, and Glaceon dies to a Brave Bird easily if it doesn't just die to rocks. And I think he's realizing this. I think he's in a position where he just can't win here. Yeah. So out comes the Glaceon. It has plenty of HP to take that rock damage, actually, but it doesn't have enough to take a Brave Bird. If he does have the Ice Shard for some reason, it doesn't matter because we're going to out-prioritize him. Because even though we have 0 speed investment, Brave Bird is still going to be faster. Just because Talonflame has... What is its speed tier? 126? I think it's 126. Which is cool because it outspeeds Swellow. I don't know why that's cool. But I feel like Swellow should just be faster for some reason, but it's not. Not that you would ever really have that matchup, and it wouldn't matter because Swellow would, you know, not be outspeeding anyway, because you would most likely just go for Brave Bird on it. I don't know. It could come down to, like, when Talonflame is at a range where it could be revenge killed, and you want to go for Quick Attack, but you can't because Brave Bird out-prioritizes it. I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just rambling at this point. Roman's going to come out here, and we're going to Brave Bird this. He may be able to take that. I don't know. I really don't know. The lack of attack investment is sometimes kind of startling with, you know, how little these attacks do. But he does not take that, and he is going to go down. And his last Pokemon is... What is it? What is his last Pokemon? Why am I blanking here? What does he have left? I thought he had Dragalge, Glaceon, and Typhlosion left. Oh, he has Umbreon, that's right. He switched it out. I was thinking that we killed it, but we definitely did not. So he's going to come back in here and just die to a Brave Bird after the rocks. Because we saw how much Brave Bird did earlier, but it definitely did more than that little tiny sliver of HP that he has remaining. So Talonflame bringing the match back for us. Or should I say batch, because apparently that's what I've been saying lately. I want to mix the words battle and match, and I just call them batches. So that is the thing. So Umbreon goes down. Those nicknames were really cool. I enjoyed his team. It was basically like a Storm Silver mashup team kind of thing with the Dragalge that knew Hail. I still don't know why that was a thing, so I'm going to be looking forward to seeing in the comment section what he has to say about that, if he had like Blizzard on Glaceon or something. I don't really know, but hearing the reasoning is always fun. Anyway, thank you very much for the battle, TJ. Hope you guys enjoyed this one, even if it was a little bit longer. Certainly not the longest on the channel, but if you did enjoy, make sure you're leaving a like, rating, or a comment, or whatever you would like to do. And next time we'll be bringing a new team. But until then, game on.